Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. There is no Jeffrey Epstein client list. He did not work for CIA or Mossad, and he did not blackmail any politicians. I didn't say that. Trump's DOJ and FBI, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino last night released the final memo of the Epstein saga, and that's their conclusion. He didn't kill himself. There is no client list. No children were harmed. He didn't work for any intelligence agencies, and he was not part of a blackmail sting operation. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. We have been absolutely backstabbed by Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and Pam Bondi. We're about to dive into that. And you know, I started criticizing Dan Bongino and Kash Patel about a month and a half ago. I received at least 50 emails from people telling me, Vlad, trust the plan. Q said, trust the plan. But I said, I don't trust no plan. I'm a realist. I look and I see Dan Bongino changed. Kash Patel changed. Something happened. Now, we're going to go into all of that in just a second. Do me a huge favor, ladies and gentlemen. Smash that thumbs up. Subscribe. Leave me a comment. What are your thoughts on this BS? It's a sad day for America. July 7th of 2025 is a sad day for America, for children, for women that were harmed, that were trafficked, that were abused, and that will never get any justice. Now, before we continue, ladies and gentlemen, really quickly, today's sponsor is Verity Metals. If you've been wanting to protect your finances, IRAs, 401ks, cash, and everything in between through gold, silver, or even platinum, Verity Metals is the company for you. Why? Well, they are people of faith. They are people who are patriots, huge Trump supporters, not a big call center, family-owned shop here in Glendale, Arizona. You can go in, meet the owner, meet the staff, and actually see what you're buying. Call 888-328-6105. Tell them Vlad sent you. Get free silver on your next order. Links are down below in the description. Now, let me put this out the way. I stand with Trump 100%. Trump signed the executive order and said, release everything. But Trump has so much other stuff that he's going through. He's got so much other stuff that he's doing, so much other stuff that he has going on. He can't micromanage everything. Let's get right into it. So we're going to go through a couple stuff that we saw in the last, several months from Pam Bondi, from Kash Patel, from others, and what we are seeing today. So Pam Bondi said on 2/21/25, Pam Bondi, the Epstein client list is on my desk right now to review. That's a quote from her. Yesterday, just in, Trump's DOJ and FBI conclude Epstein had no client list and committed suicide. This is the video that they released, right? There is a 1.5 hour long video, 12-hour video. And then there's this one that's just all in one. It's just a video from outside of a cell proving nobody walked up there. Nobody, walked in the cell or walked out of the cell all night long. Just in. I posted this 12 hours ago. The DOJ, US DOJ and FBI joint Epstein memo, quote, there was no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. I'm going to read the two highlighted in red spots right there. The first one. The systemic review revealed no incriminating, quote, client list. There was also no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his action. We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. And the second one, after a thorough investigation, FBI investigators concluded that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in his cell at the Metropolitan Correction Center in New York City on August 10, 2019. This conclusion is consistent with previous findings, including the August 19th, 2019 findings of the New York City Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. The November 2019 position of the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York in connection with the investigation of federal correctional officers responsible for guarding Epstein, and the June 2023 conclusion of DOJ's Office of the Inspector General. Listen to this. In 1 week, we are watching Diddy. On the 6 cases, 4 of them dismissed. 4 out of 6 have been dismissed. The 2 ones that he's found guilty of, he'll be home in less than 2 years. So in 2 weeks, we have the guy that ran the Hollywood sex ring, get off, and now Epstein and all of his clients, they're all getting off. So, according to this memo, Maxine, whatever, Gaslin, whatever her name is, she should go home. Because isn't she doing a 20-year prison sentence for bringing people to Epstein? Wasn't she the middle woman between Epstein and the people that he abused? So maybe, just maybe, she needs to be released. The FBI says there's no client list. I had to post this. We will release the Epstein list. We just need more time. The Epstein list is on my desk. There is no Epstein list. And I'm going to play you guys videos from within the last 3 months of them actually telling us there is a client list. There are videos. Remember this? Remember when I made a video about this? Do you guys remember this? When we got Epstein list part 1. And then I made a video and I was very critical of this. I was very like, I don't like this. It's a show. I remember I lost over 100 subscribers. Said, Vlad, you're not trusting the plan. Whoa. This one guy on a Japanese porn website told us to trust the plan. And I said, this looks like a show. Kids were harmed and they're standing there. Oh, look at this Epstein. Oh. And I lost over 100 subscribers, but I stood my ground. I received emails saying, Vlad, you're stupid, you're dumb, you don't know what you're talking. But I stood my ground and I said, I hope in time I am proven wrong, but right now what I see is ridiculous. By the way, on the same topic, but off topic, remember how Kash Patel promised us that he is on day 1 going to shut down he's going to shut down the Epstein, the Hoover building, the FBI building. Do you guys remember that? He told us. And then he said there won't be an FBI office in Washington, D.C. because that's where the swamp is. So listen to this. This came out 4 days ago. Kash Patel to shut down FBI Hoover building, move headquarters across D.C. to Ronald Reagan building. And I was very interested. How far is Ronald Reagan building from the Hoover building? If you're walking, it's 7 minutes. Just across the street. So he shut down the Hoover building because it's in D.C. And that's where you become the swamp. But he moved it, 7-minute walking. You just walk out, walk to the light, cross the street, walk back half a block, and it's right there. If you walk out of the Hoover building and you look across the street and you look a little bit to your right, you're going to see the Reagan building. But he's draining the swamp. Listen to this. This is Alina Habba. Quote, it's incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, information, names that will come out. She said this just a few weeks ago. Listen.
But in this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
Is it going to be shocking?
I don't see how it's not shocking that there were so many individuals that were hidden and kept secret and not been held accountable. Let's talk about the reverse. I believe in accountability. So you have to now go through your process. Now, I won't say they're guilty until they go through their time in court. But again, now it's time for accountability. We have seen for so many years, Pierce, in this country, many investigations, subpoenas, testimonies in Congress, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a general frustration with accountability. We take it halfway. We don't take it home. And I really believe that now with Kash and Pam, there will be accountability. But in the
So Alina Habba, just several weeks ago, admitted that there are clients that are still walking the streets. There are pervs and predators and sickos and weirdos who are all still walking the streets, who are connected to Epstein, who are connected to the flight logs. And now the memo. Now let's move on to some headlines that were breaking last night. Wait, what? This is one of them. If there was no Epstein client list, then why did New York court refuse the Gateway Pundit's legal request for the list based on an anonymous John Doe who was on the list? That's just one of the headlines, because they told us there is no, first they told us there is a list, there are names. Now we're being told there is no list, there are no names. Shut up, look away, stop looking. Now, here we go. There's a couple more. If Jeffrey Epstein had no client list, why did Attorney General Pam Bondi tell reporters the list, quote, is sitting on my desk right now to review? That's in the process of being reviewed. Let's watch the clip. Come on, where's the clip? I saw it here just yesterday. Listen.
Yeah, I saw your appearance at CPAC with Ben and with Ted Cruz. And one of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK.
I want you to listen to what she says right here and pay very good attention. What did Trump tell her to do?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing.
So Trump told them to release everything. Trump told them to release everything. Look, I see a couple Pew nerd comments, and I got to address him. He's dead. He's not in witness protection. He's not. And the deep state got to Pam Bondi, they got to Kash Patel, they got to Dan Bongino. There is no conspiracy that he's alive. That's only Q stuff. And up until now, everything he's predicted when it comes to the glue, come on. No, he's dead. If he was in witness protection, we would see people arrested. We would see people arrested. Trump told her to review, release. Guys, stop falling for the hopium. Don't fall for the hopium. Don't fall for the hopium. And it doesn't matter what she said if she's going to release it. Trump signed an executive order to release everything. So he said, put together a memo and release everything. And the memo that we are now getting is this. We reviewed anything. There's nothing there. Because Trump said, release. Guys, I want you to listen to me very carefully. Trump told them, release the client list. Now, Kash Patel is telling us there is no client list. Pam Bondi saying there is no client list. There's nothing for us to release. So why was the Epstein list part 1 with a bunch of names and Trump's name was in there? Why, Pam Bondi? Who you working for, really? Kash Patel, who you working for, really? See, Trump told him, release everything. Put together a memo, go through everything, put together a memo, release it. Their memo says there is no client list. There is no flight log. There are no videos. There's nothing there. But people are still going to be on the hopium train. Oh, Epstein's hiding. Yeah, sure. Come on. Let's be real, please. Breaking. New FBI memo concludes Jeffrey Epstein did not have a client list and committed suicide. New FBI memo concludes there is nothing. Now, if you want to tell me, if someone wants to tell me this is part of the plan, I don't trust liars. Lie to me once, I can't trust you anymore. This is why I trust Trump. He said, release, if you own a big company and you hire some supervisors and managers and people to be in charge and you tell them to do something and they don't do it but make excuses, they need to be fired. They need to be fired. Check out this. What the hell happened to Dan Bongino?
Listen, that Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on this. Catherine Rumler, we need to keep the heat on this case, folks. There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it. Outside of a few entrepreneurial media outlets saying, hey, this is a big deal.
He killed himself. You want me to I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Listen,
I'll tell you guys this now, right now. If someone comes out and tells you this is part of a plan, they're your enemy. If someone tells you Epstein is alive somewhere, he's in witness protection, they're lying to you. And here's how I'll prove it. So you're telling me Epstein is not actually dead. He's alive somewhere. But the people he harmed, the people he hurt, are still never got justice. Let's not forget that 3 of his victims committed suicide in the last 4 months. And 2 of the 3 in their letters actually said, because we haven't got justice and we see the people that harmed us on TV in positions of power, still really rich and living their life. What I believe is happening, what I would truly, genuinely believe is happening. Do you remember when Matt Gaetz, he was the last person we expected for Trump to endorse him to be his attorney general, right? Right after Trump won the election, he said, I want Matt Gaetz to be my attorney general. No one saw that coming. Nobody saw that coming, right? But then all hell rose up to make sure that he does not become attorney general. The Republicans made sure he doesn't get in. But Pam Bondi, she was always a rumor. Even before Trump won the election, she was rumored to be Trump's attorney general. Kash Patel was always rumored to be Trump's FBI director. Why? Because they played their part between 2021 and 2024 perfectly. They went on all the right podcasts and said the right things. Dan Bongino had this how is it that this guy, think about this. Dan Bongino, used to work for Obama and Hillary Clinton, protecting them. He spent years, over a decade, in the Democrat circles and not all the private parties. And then overnight, he becomes the biggest political podcast on Rumble as a conservative. No. Snaky snake. Snaky snake. He slithered his way in. He said the right things. If you go and hang out with Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Obama for over a decade, then you want to come and tell me that you are a straight up Trump supporter, patriot, MAGA, America first, tell the truth always? I'm not going to believe you. Not anymore, at least. We've learned our lesson. We burned ourselves with Kash Patel, with Dan Bongino. What Trump has to do, it has to do now, right now. He needs to fire Kash Patel, fire Dan Bongino, fire Pam Bondi, and fight to get Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. I don't know who to be FBI director, but he needs to get some people like Matt Gaetz. Shoot, Alex Jones. Yeah, Alex Jones is a little crazy, but guess what? He's not afraid of the system. He fights them. He tells the truth. Do I always like a lot of the stuff he talks on? Not always, but I don't care. I'd rather have someone, I don't like how they talk, but they'll tell me the truth, than have these guys, right? And it just, hold on, I think I shared this. Yeah, so check this out. Again, don't forget, as of yesterday, they are telling us there is no client list. There is no flight logs. There is no nothing.
Again.
And by the way, please, if QAnon or JUAnon or BlueAnon or the 4 a.m. Club use a Japanese porn website to tell you this is part of the plan, they're your enemy. You know, because right now what we need to do is put so much pressure on Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, sending them letters, emails, voicemails, saying, we know you're lying. Release what you have. You still have a chance to make things right and save your reputation. But these people on 4chan and 8con and all these SKUs are going to tell you, don't do anything. Trust the plan, bro. Grab your popcorn. Yeah. You know, how many more years are you going to keep trusting the plan and realize it gets worse before it gets worse? Now, I voted for a great economy. That's what we're getting. Secure borders. But we need justice.
Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
Tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going.
We're going to watch this one more time. Just listen to the contrast of what they're saying in the reports we just got.
Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
Tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going.
Again.
So according to Kash Patel, if there was something, they would release it. But according to Pam Bondi, there is so much. That's why it's taking so long. And in the end, here's what we're getting. Nothing. There are no tapes. There are no clients. There is no list. There is no flight logs. He did not work for an intelligence agency, whether Israeli or ours. On top of that, there is no blackmail operation. So let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. Within 7 days, we got Diddy getting freed. So he got found not guilty on 4 of the 6 charges. The 2 big ones, not guilty. 2 in the middle, not guilty. 2 minor ones, where he's going to be home in less than 2 years from now. That's the only thing he was found guilty of. And as icing on the cake, Jeffrey Epstein did not have a client list. He did not blackmail anybody. He did not work for any intelligence agency. And on top of that, he killed himself. That's it. That's the end. This is the final memo. Just so you understand the volume of this moment, this is the final memo. There's nothing more coming out after this. This is the final report. This is it. No more. We won't get another one of these. Here, let me show you this. Where was it? We won't get another one of these. We won't get a part 2. And do you guys remember? Do you guys remember when this happened, how I bashed Bondi for this? Maybe one of these days I'll go live because I saved all the emails and just go through the emails of people attacking me. Like I mentioned earlier, I lost over 100 subscribers from one video because I ridiculed this. I said they are turning the torture, the rape of babies and children, an innocent life, into a, oh, look at me, oh. And then when you open that clip, for some reason, Pam Bondi, she just sticks Trump's name into this. That's what tells me she works for the other side. I stand with Trump, stand with this country, and I stand with the Lord. But I do not believe a word from Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, or Dan Bongino when it comes to this. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. Subscribe, share this with a friend or two. I appreciate each and every one of you. I can make you this promise. I will tell the truth even when it hurts my social media. I will tell the truth even when it doesn't feel good. I'll tell the truth even if there's something I might not like from Trump, but I will always speak the truth. And I believe that's what makes the MAGA party strong. See, if we were the Democrat Party, we would just bend our heads and say, yes, masters. Yes. There is. That's the final memo. There's nothing there. Stop looking. What makes the MAGA party great is we ask questions. We speak the truth. And we will even ridicule and debate with people on our own side. That is why we are the free thinkers, not the left. God bless you guys. Stay tuned. I'll be on top of this. See you soon.